Okay, I want to tell you about something that happened today. So, I got a text message that was a rejection text from a girl that I had some interest in, and it really sent me into a spiral. I think dysregulation would be the term that you would use for what it did to me. Like, I was pretty messed up. I was pretty bent out of shape about the whole thing. And I understand rejection for anyone, it doesn't feel good, but I want to give a little detail and context to why it didn't feel good. The specific situation was that we had gone out a couple of times, just kind of like hanging out, and it was great. We were having fun. I feel like had good banter, and we were both like really PDA like we were kissing right away, and I love that. That's my style. But then she came over to my house, and after only like the second, I guess that was the third time that we hung out, she came over to my house, and we were kissing and making out, and she just like immediately was like, "Let's go to the bedroom." And so we went, we did the thing. And afterwards, I didn't feel great about the whole thing. I think she just rushed it. Like, you got to have some buildup, number one, just to feel it. But even so, just this place that I'm at in life, like, I think I needed extra buildup. No, that's not it. It's that I didn't need sex. I needed connection. And that's what I was getting out of this. It was someone who I was connecting with, and I liked that. I didn't need sex. That's just not what I was in it for. And then after we had sex, which she led us into, I felt like now this is kind of like a sexual thing. Well, let me give you a little context for like how the rejection happened. So the backstory is that we met at a club. I don't really go to a lot of clubs, but if friends invite me, I show up. So at any rate, we met at this club. We liked each other. We texted. We added each other on Instagram. We were liking each other's stories. We were sending memes, and we hung out once or twice. And she came over to watch a movie. We were making out on the sofa, and then she's like, "Let's take it to the bedroom." We had sex, and after that, she left. I didn't kick her out or anything. She wanted to leave. It's fine. We texted a couple of times after that. Like the very next day, I texted her. She was going out with some friends to go float the river. So cool, no problem. 2 days after that, I texted her again. But let me catch you up today, and I'm going to just show you the text message that came. Let's see. I asked her how her programming studies are going. She's learning programming. I know a lot about programming. And then I said, "Want to do a study session soon?" And she said, "Honestly, I think you acted a little weird after having sex, like ghosting. I was not expecting that from you, and that really turned me off. Like I even didn't study well that week, and I'm back on track now. So no thank you, no hard feelings, wish you well." Let me read you my reply, and then I'll give you a little explanation. I said, "Really sorry about that. Can I be honest though? I didn't want to have sex. I liked spending time with you, and I feel like we rushed it. I enjoyed our conversation and connection, but I didn't feel good after. I'm sorry for how I acted. I understand if you don't want to meet up again, but since we're being honest, I want you to know the truth." And then I said, "I'm really sorry I fucked up your study. Look, my apology is real. If that's how she felt, if she felt like I ghosted, if she felt like I was acting weird, if it fucked up her week of study, like I'm sorry. And if I caused that, yeah, I am truly sorry. I never wanted that. I really do like this girl. I want to say that like I said, I feel like we rushed it. I feel like she rushed it, and I just kind of went along with it just because I didn't want to disappoint her in that moment." But she said ghosted. She said it was like I ghosted. That's not true. I didn't. I texted her 2 times, and both times we had something. Yes, I kind of stopped at that point, but I want to point something out, which is that I think she's falling into some kind of like gender role thing out of the blue, because we were both texting each other back and forth. We were sending memes back and forth. We were liking each other's stories. And after that, she stopped all that. And I think she was like, I don't know what she was expecting me to do, like, pursue her extra hard or something. I don't understand. Like, to me, something about that feels the fact that she's going to say that, like, I was acting weird. I think she was acting weird, but I want to own my part of it, because my texting, kind of petered off. And anyway, she said, "It's all good. I saw that on you, and I'm a very sexual person. I need sex in the beginning to know if I want to stay connected. We are not compatible. It's okay. We can be friends out in the club. Thanks for the apology." I said, "I wish I was like that. I need that connection first before my sex drive kicks in. That's just how I am. Thanks for understanding and for sharing your perspective. For the record, I'm a big fan of you. You're fun to be around, and I'm in awe of your confidence and energy. Thanks again for being honest." And that was where the conversation ended. But when I received this at first, I felt like dog shit. And I think after sitting with it for a while and trying to process what was going on in my body, in my mind. Like I couldn't focus on anything. My day was just kind of in a ruined state. I just felt like shit. And that's the feeling of rejection. I was feeling rejection. Here's the only reason why I think that's interesting. I truly did experience rejection. This was her rejecting me, but I want to explain a couple of things about why I think this is interesting that I felt rejection. It's because I have a side of this as well. And I didn't like that she rushed into sex. It made me think that that's all she was about. And honestly, she kind of confirmed after that that that's what she's about. She's like, I need sex in the beginning to know if I want to stay connected. Okay. I mean, that's one way to do it. I actually need connection to know if I want to have sex. Whatever. So yeah, I didn't like it either. And I've got a side and I've got an opinion. And the rejection that I felt amplified. It felt too big. It wasn't just like, that's a bummer, that sucks, or that's a lesson that I can learn from or something. It was just all the feelings that I experienced when I was young and when I was entering the outside world for the first time. I was very Christian, evangelical Christian, and I was homeschooled. So I had this big gap between me and normal kids. And my introduction to these normal kids was not one friendly. I felt like everyone treated me like I was weird. Girls thought acted like I was gross. And that just feeling of rejection, just like, I don't know, cuts to my core because I've experienced it before. And I think for anyone, just the feeling of being rejected and left out is one of the most horrible feelings anyone can feel. I think it's like someone saying to you that, like, I don't like what you bring to the table. I don't know. It's not good. It's a bad feeling. So a couple of her statements were, so no, thank you, and we are not compatible. Those I feel like hit me really hard. And the feeling, once again, is just rejection. I really got hung up on this. And I think the reason is because I crave connection so bad, not specifically this with this person, just in general, that any slight sign of rejection is magnified, even if it's perceived. Sometimes it's just perceived. This time it was actual rejection, but just like the feeling is just the worst feeling. Heidi Priebe, I covered one of her videos that was talking about emotional neglect, and she talked about how criticism is something that people who've experienced emotional neglect take very hard.
Thing that's very common with people who've experienced emotional neglect is that criticism hits incredibly hard, and you might feel highly defensive to even the smallest hints from other people that you're not doing something perfectly.
That is true, but criticism is associated with rejection. And I think I experience those same feelings when somebody criticizes me or when they just like outright reject me, like this girl did. All of those just hit really, really hard. So I noticed this and I just wanted to record it, talk about it. I think this is an area that I need some work. I think it just triggers feelings of worthlessness and inadequacy. And I think this is an area that I need some work because, criticism is a part of life. It's good information. And even rejection is a part of life. It's good information. Because, of course, one way that I could look at this is this rejection was meant to happen. It's true. We aren't compatible. And that's okay.